All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and our home team. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And his first look is incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He goes underneath to Abdullah. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll set up to throw. And he's got Moncrief. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the 1st quarter.
Too many ones in this play. 1st quarter, 1st drive, 1st interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Larson. Henry's got it out on the left side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on 1st. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the 1st quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. 1st quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series you have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That one good for 13 and a Charger 1st. After getting that turnover on the 1st drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Now Gordon on first down. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
And coming out now, the Broncos. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time. And they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, Abdullah. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Now, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
The first down line at the 34 here on third down. He'll drop to throw. And it's caught by Parker. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. A second down run for Abdullah. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards gets him back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And McManus able to put it through. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Yeah, penalty markers down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Throwing on first down. Larson, throw left side, complete. That's Henry. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 6 there on first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, #1, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Larson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Larson. And his throw here's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Larson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. On is the Chargers punter now. Back deep, Travis Benjamin. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. So the Broncos coming out now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? 5 defensive backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a dime. A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing, offenses love to run against dime defenses. Typically, the bigger guys have an advantage against the smaller defensive backs when they're blocking downfield.
And we saw that advantage right there. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Back to throw now on second and 10. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Robbie Anderson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Chargers coming out of the field now. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Looking deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Umpire through the flag usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Looking to throw. Larson. And right side, Henry's got it. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That puts a good dent into their first down setback. It's a pickup of 16.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Back to throw. Larson. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff. This is Gordon. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Larson. And this one is incomplete. He was looking for Mike Williams that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
This will be caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Hunter Henry with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chargers have made this a one-score game. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This fielded at the 2. now look at him go. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. In for the score. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
On first down, Larson. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Larson going underneath for Gordon. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. On 1st and 10, Larson. His throw incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Back to the air on 2nd down. Larson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, a 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more after this. Throwing on first down. Larson. And he's caught right at the 10-yard line. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Hunter Henry with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Chargers are able to make this a close game again. Now the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to loft one. He's got a man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 36 yards. They go play action here on first down. Buying time to his left. Staying on his feet. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking for Moncrief, and it's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
On first down, Larson. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Back to throw. Larson. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working. That is caught at the 7. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Dante Moncrief, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. McManus's point after is good, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have been able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle. Now the Chargers hustling, trying to get up and get set. Looking to throw. Larson. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. The Chargers on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Back to throw. Larson. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. On is the Chargers punter now as the drive goes backwards. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him. And Denver getting set to take the field. And with great field position here, chance for some points before the break.
That's prime real estate. Just have to decide how they want to try and take their shot to try and put those points on the board.
So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive. Go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
A final shot before break. Larson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. This is Gordon on the dump off. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Operating from the gun. Larson finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. From the gun, Larson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice safe throw and a good one.
Returning, it's Benjamin. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Abdullah. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Broncos on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Looking left sideline, incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
A handoff to Abdullah, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And he'll be taken down deep into Charger territory. A big play there for the Broncos on 3rd, and even 40 yards. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Now a give. This is Abdullah. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They go with Abdullah again. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. They'll try to run it in with Abdullah. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The penalty yards marched off as they'll try again on 2nd and goal. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. It's a solid pickup, 8 yards, but work still to do now on 3rd and goal. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 6 yards puts him right on the doorstep, but now it'll be 4th and goal. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And McManus able to put it through. And that will extend their lead even further. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead. He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s. So out come the Chargers. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football. Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive. They need points. Big time. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Larson. They've got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. From the gun, Larson. And Daniels has it over the middle. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Larson throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be a 2nd down. Looking to throw, Larson. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Larson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gordon. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
Leopard! Back 99 Philly, here we go!
Operating from the gun. Larson. And he's got it. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are able to close the gap just a bit. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. They've been pretty anemic on this side of the football in the second half, just 3 points, and you just saw the touchdown go the other way. So it's a 2-score game. We're not done here yet.
I think everyone's on the edge of their seats now because they're anticipating what's coming, and I sense that everyone in the stadium knows they need to keep it on the ground. So if you're going to do that, hope the quarterback is stretched a little bit. Some bootlegs, right? Some fakes inside, getting out to the perimeter. Those might be open for him.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So erase the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. He goes underneath to Abdullah. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Here's Marquette King now as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. The Chargers getting set to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Throwing to start the drive. Larson, he's going to sling this deep. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 58 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
throwing on first down. Larson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Larson. Flushed out right. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Back to throw. Larson. And this is going to be a Charger touchdown. It's their quarterback. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Gano for the extra point. Gano the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback. Because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Abdullah. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. They'll set up to throw. Forced out to his left. It's complete. Abdullah. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. This is Abdullah. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because We've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
The Broncos on third down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 7. On the run, Abdullah. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did.
So for Denver, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they'll get another road test.